I'm Crispian Mills. I sing, I play guitar.
Jay Darlington, keyboards.
Alonzo Bevan, bass guitar.
Paul Winterhart, drums.
It's a little loud, but is this rock music?
Yeah, it's nice.
Good.
Pretty cool.
Kind that you can sit there and you just sit in a big room, black and lights out and everything going crazy.
Real different music, man.
Kula shaker. It is nice.
My dad was a fiddle player, so I'd have that. As a young child, he'd come down the piano. Very musical niche in the Welsh, you see.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, used to be a theatre organist.
She showed me how to play House of the Rising Sun, which was one of my favourite songs, which I was quite chuffed about.
My mum's a psychic, like you do, and a healer, and my dad was a merchant seaman turned boxing trainer.
Paul's mum was a dancer.
She was married to a jazz guitarist, and he died of a heart attack. He played with the younger Reinhardt and various people. He had died of a heart attack before I was born, and she met my mum, who met my dad, who was a jazz drummer. So I learned drums. I began playing drums because of that.
Well, I saw Crispian first on Hampton Station, which is about 10 minutes down the road from here. And early one morning, amongst a crowded platform of commuters, there was a freaky kid with this bowl haircut and stood out a mile, and he looked like he was from another age.
So I sort of knew him vaguely on the scene, you know. He was into all the same music as me, all the 60s American garage stuff. We all had these pointy boots and the bowl haircuts, and like you do.
And I actually met him maybe 2 years later at Richmond College, and we got rock and roll band together, which then went through various lineup changes. I think it was the later part of that band that Paulie Winterhart came aboard. So Mr. Jay Darlington, we knew from around. He was another odd sort of bowl-headed being that you'd see in the corner of rooms at parties, sort of looking bowl-haired and strange. And we knew of him, and we knew he had his little Vox Continental, and we wanted a keyboard player. So we got Mr. Darlington on board.
We seduced Jay from another band. We'd call him up in the middle of the night and he'd say, hello? And we go, join us.
Peasants, pigs and astronauts, it could mean lots of things really, couldn't it? I mean, it could be describing people, it could be describing attitudes.
We started assembling these tracks like Mystical Machine Gun, SOS, 180 Battles of the Mind, and there is a kind of link in the theme and the lyrics. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are making millennium-type albums, and good luck to them. But I felt personally a lack of kind of positive or love-orientated aspiration to all that. Some of my favourite albums have got themes running through them as well, so it kind of went for the gamble.
I hear the sound of drums and a melody. I hear the sound of drums. Oh, I sing in the names above in the city. Yeah, revolution for fun.
We're at the end of a frightening century of change and supposed progression and development, and we're just pointing out that maybe this development isn't all that it's cracked up to be. And I think there's a lot of subjects in the album that, you know, just a kind of yearning for a simpler time maybe, or something where you're not based on me. You
know, people may look at this and say, this is just too damn serious for us right now. We'd rather party like it's 1999.
For some people it's just an arbitrary date in time and it doesn't mean anything, and then on another level it's a time when mass communication has brought a lot of people together to think about the same kind of ideas and concerns. You know, if that doesn't lead to some kind of appreciation of each other and some kind of celebration of love, happiness, or some kind of peace, then you know, it's just going to be a waste of time.
Maybe we want our music to reflect our worries and our concerns and our hopes and our dreams. And if that's the case, this album will be very, very successful. The Great Hosanna, as well as being the first track on the album, was really created to be an introduction to the whole idea of this project, and incorporates within it bits and pieces from virtually every song that comes later on the album.
Alonso, our bass player, his mother Julie, she said, "It's a bit heavy metal for me," so in places it's heavy, which makes me happy.
It's 2 o'clock.
Well, we had this track, the working title of it was Spawn of Satan, and we realised we couldn't really call the track that, so we just retitled it SOS, which is a nice kind of way actually, because it's a bit of a cry for help. It's this kind of, just a track of catharsis, and it's just like everything I hate about the world in one song.
This is the age of decay and hypocrisy. Sometimes I feel like the world isn't ready for me.
Well, working with the producers, like bringing on another member of the band.
We chose Mr. Ezra into it because we liked his stuff.
We kind of found that producers at the moment were very much either kind of ideas-based or technology-based. You know, they were really good engineers and you had to, you know, get sounds up and everything, but they weren't actually totally musical. And somebody like Bob Ezrin he's I wouldn't want to say old school, it might offend him, but it's another kind of league of producer that's very, very musical.
You chaps okay there?
The first time I met Bob, I thought it was a bit too. I thought it was too straight, because he had train, you know, he had little slippers on and short hair. And I thought, this guy's straight.
The project calls on a lot of my experience from the past and reminds me of a lot of the things that I had done in the past. The stuff he did with Alice Cooper and all the early stuff that he did, it's just got good sound, big ballsy sound, good rocky sound. There is some of that sense of experimentation and heavy reliance on atmosphere that we got into with Peter Gabriel or Pink Floyd. There's a sense of irony and a kind of rock consciousness, like some of the stuff I did with Alice Cooper or with Lou Reed.
He'd been working on a technology-based company, so coming back into the music business for him and working on an album with a young band was really just like, let me at it, you know.
It's allowing me to sort of draw on some of my past experience as I learn and continue to create new things with this group.
Most of my working relationships tend to be collaborative. I enjoy the bouncing back and forth of ideas, and I really love it when the musicians take an active role in more than just what they play.
There's not any producers out there like him at the moment.
Crispian and Alonza grew up in this neighborhood, and as teenagers they were aware that we were down here on this boat making records. They knew that just over that wall somewhere there was a magical place where Pink Floyd was making music. And I think every once in a while they kind of hopped up and took a look over the fence, and sort of dreamed about what it would be like to be down there. And when we talked about making the album, the first question out of their mouths was, do you think we might be able to get Dave's boat?
He'd done work here with Floyd, and I'd lived round the corner, and Alonza had also. And so this place was a kind of like a mythical...
It is wonderful recording on this boat for many reasons. One of them is these things here, which are windows that open, and it's much better than air conditioning. You see, when you were recording the last album, we were stuck in these little bunkers. I think they were like left over from the Cold War, you know, these radiation sort of shelters.
Sometimes it was just a little bit too beautiful, the surroundings. If you got a nice day and the swans were floating past and you were trying to sing Spawn, you know, SOS, just be, oh no, you had to close your eyes and you imagine you were in some smelly, dark studio in the pits of Soho.
K was really just club band, festival band, going in the studio, bang it all down.
All living together for the past 3 years and playing around all those little clubs and pubs around England, driving down to the West Country, busking, and it was all about our life then, really, and the songs that we'd written during that time.
Now, tell us something about Tatva, because I understand it's Sanskrit, is it?
Yeah, it's in Sanskrit, which is in India they call it the language of the gods, so we thought, well, that would be nice to have on a pop single.
Right, yeah.
And it means we're all one, but we're all brothers or something like that.
I was told it meant the simultaneous inconceivable difference and non-difference of reality.
My God.
But I think Sham 69 did a number about that, didn't they?
They did.
As I recall. Okay, then, right. Kula Shaker.
The sort of bands I got into were American garage and psychedelic bands from the mid-60s. Bands like the Seeds, the Electric Prunes.
I'm standing somewhere in between. Love is a child of liberty.
I've always been into the Beatles. My dad was a Beatles fan, and his father's father and his father's father was a Beatles fan as well. We've all been Beatles fans.
One of my big heroes was George Harrison, of course, because he'd done all those crossover stuff and he'd worked with and he was so much responsible bringing a lot of Indian music and ideas over.
We've all got aspects of 60s lifestyle that we're into, but mine was... LA sounded like a good place to be in '69.
It's not really your typical kind of guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards rock album. And what we did was we ended up bringing in instrumentation from a variety of different places and a variety of different cultures. There's an awful lot of reference back to Indian classical music on the album. In fact, we used some of the greatest classical musicians in Indian music today.
Hari Prasad, he's played on a couple of tracks. It's just a pleasure to get like truly great musicians. You know, we're rock and rollers and we sort of mostly taught ourselves and we're, you know, blagging basically, but to see someone that's just perfected their instrument and there's 5 holes on this flute and I don't know how many notes he gets out of the thing.
And in India he's like God, and for me he was, you know, I've been listening to him for years, so getting him in the studio was an amazing experience. And you know, he'd play something and then the tape would finish, stop rolling, and you'd, you know, say something over the talkback like, that was wonderful, you're amazing, thank you, let's try just one more, shall we? You know, what else can you say? You know? Glastonbury was like something we'd been desiring and visualising, you know, for years and years. It was really, really special for us, and we got received really well. And as soon as we came off stage, the festival organiser, Michael Eavis, came up and said, "Oh, Neil Young's hurt his finger. Will you go on?" And we were like, "Yeah."
In my eyes, but I don't want to look into it. There's thunder in the skies and I'm fighting of what is doing. Oh, baby, it's not like a catastrophe. Oh, love, it's not how we used to be. I'm just a man who's battling with his mind.
Playing here, you shit yourself because, you know, it's a big city. It's very exciting though. It's kind of like you don't know whether to get overexcited or overwhelmed by it.
These were the crossings, not too bad. Back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you very much. Today is the pick of the lot.
Yeah, we're looking good this Thursday? What day is this?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Wishful
Whoops.
thinking.
Tomorrow's tax day, and it goes downhill in more ways than one. Outside now, though, we are holding onto a partly sunny sky to mostly sunny 48 degrees. Check on the neighborhood weather at Bronx High School of Science, where it is also 48 degrees.
Mayor Dickens will be here. We'll talk about tomorrow's big.
FedEx over light, orange juice, toast and tea. Room service.
If you could change the look of your floor, right?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Just a second, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Come on. That's good. Excuse me. Okay.
Just one. I won't do it now. Go ahead. Well, can I go back to sleep? No, I can't. So I'm waking up.
That's all right, don't you worry.
I'll get a sentence together in just a second. Well, I've got 2 wells out there. Right, we're here. We arrived in from Toronto just last night for a week of kissing babies and talking to wonderful press people. And we're going to be doing a show, and it should be lovely.
So here we are, this is our day off. And we've been told that out of season, it's pretty groovy down at Coney Island.
Yeah, but out of season.
But out of season. So we've got out of season tickets.